Hello lads and lasses, I am Keelan the RealistReviewer, and today we're taking a look at the female character creation in Tera. Okay, now this video is in 1080p and the graphics are in Ultra, so this is as best as you're gonna get, okay guys? And today we're looking at the ladies. We're going to go through each specific race, and we're going to try and check out most of the options. However, the human, there are only a few options that are different between the different races. Obviously, some of them are rather different than others, but we'll start off with humans first of all. Just point of note before we begin, there are two male-specific races, and there's only one female-specific race. Why is that? I have no idea. So this is going to be slightly shorter than the guys video, purely because there's one less race that ladies can play. So I don't know why that is, but that's just the way it is, I'm afraid. Right, we're going to have a look at the warrior. And let's look at the presets. And there's the standard human body. And you can't change the dimensions of this, I'm afraid. You can't make her, you know, more muscly or thinner or fatter or taller or shorter, I'm afraid. That's what you get. You're one size only. So bear that in mind, guys. But what you do get to do is you do get slightly more customization than you usually get in your average MMO. And certainly it's about time, if you ask me. There are some limitations, however. These are all the presets. So basically you're expected to find something in amongst these that you find alright. And they're not bad. They're pretty much your generic starting ones. And then if you hit random, as you can see, you could end up with all sorts. So this is randoms maybe one to pick if you want to pick someone who's not fabulously beautiful. Because you will get a real mishmash. You can get anything. You can spend hours just clicking away at that. We're going to pick generic number 1. And we're going to go straight to features. Now features is essentially your hairstyle. And we're going to go through each one in turn. Takes a second for the texture to load. Lots of long hairstyles, as you might expect. There's hardly any for the guys, so, but there's plenty for the ladies. It's a bun there. Tied at the back. So there's 14 hairstyles, which isn't a bad selection. I rate that as okay. I suppose it's good for an MMO, but it is a paid MMO, so I do have high standards. It's pay and subscription fee, so I have very high standards for anything that's subscription fee. But it does a lot better than the textures are a lot better than the kind of plasticine Star Wars hair, which was really bad by my standards anyway. Let's have a look through the hairstyles and the hair colors. So as you might expect with the humans, it's very kind of natural hair colors. There's no kind of neon pink or you know, really elaborate colors. It's pretty simple. That's what you get. And that's pretty much it for the hairs. We're gonna pick one that doesn't get in the way too much, so we can see the face. And here's the different variations of your preset face, and they are fairly different from each other. There are some quite big differences in the facial features, and you will notice with every different face we pick, we get a different eye color and lipstick color. You'll notice the lipstick changes as well. See, that's a different shade of lipstick right there. And again. And again. So the eyes and the sort of makeup and the lips are all linked together, which I don't really approve of. I think they should all be separate, because you may not necessarily want a certain color of eyes with a certain color of lips, or, you know, and the shape changes as well. So, you know, you really have to pick here what eye color you want and stuff, and you may not get everything to your liking. So I think they should be kept separate at all times. Here's the flesh tones. Quite a selection. I would have liked to have seen a lighter shade than that, but that doesn't seem to be available. And that's as dark as you can go, pretty much. I would have liked to see a bit darker than that available. That would be nice, but we don't have that. But yeah, all in all, it's very pretty, and they do give you a nice you know, array. They give you 12 options, but as I said, it would have been nice if we had them separated. Different color eyes, a palette for the eyes would have been nice, and you know, palette for different color lipstick. You know, maybe have a huge palette of lip colors. That would have been nice, but we didn't get them. Now here's the adornments. Now this kind of can also change your eye color as well as the facial types, so to be aware of that. And this changes makeup as well as eye color, and, you know, goodness as well. Everything's linked together. So hopefully you'll find something in this to your liking. But chances are you're going to find something that you like in one, but something you like in another, and you won't be able to have both, I'm afraid. Which is about the only shortcoming in the character creation, is the fact that stuff is linked together. It's a relic of the past of the old MMOs, especially the old Korean MMOs. They all have this, and it's all a very bad model, because people like different things. People like different color eyes to their makeup. You know, they may not like the same thing, but for some reason they do it this way. But we just have to live with it. Your adornment is this kind of black thing underneath there. It's kind of like a mark. It's on the other side as well, as you can see. It's kind of, I can show you that a bit better. It's difficult because there's no really short style. It's funny, similarly, that the men favor the short style hair, which is not really the majority of fantasy haircuts. They favor long hair for women, which is rather sexist if you ask me. You know, there's no short hair. Where's the short hairs? Where's the mohawks? Where's the, you know, where's the Sinead O'Connor look? There's just none of that. It's all quite long and feminine hair for the ladies. So that's my only real critique for that. But anyway, we've done the adornments. You get those lovely things there, and that's about it. Let's go to the fine details next. First up, we've got the bone structure. And basically, you see how the hair bleeds into the eyes there, into the brow rather. You have to watch for that. If you make your brow bigger, it will bleed into the hair, sadly. So watch for that. But yeah, you can have a massive brow if you want to. You can change the cheekbones as well. Again, the hair bleeds into the cheekbones, sadly. So be careful with that, otherwise you might end up with hair going into your cheeks. Again, seems to be a thing with Korean MMOs. They seem to have that quite often. Yeah, so not a lot of variation there. Actually, I might just change the hair. Can we find a hair that... There we go. Well, that should be better. Right. Let's have a look at the jaw. So you can have a quite big jaw at least. Not everything has to be feminine. You can have a nice big jaw if you want to. You can have a big jaw sticking out like that with your chin out. Yeah. So there is some nice options for a strong face at least. Not everything is feminine to the max. You can have wide eyes if you want to, and the small eyes, they don't work, do they? I mean, I don't think that works. But the wide eyes certainly could work for you if you like that look. And the shape kind of, it's basically you want closed eyes or you want wide open eyes and you want normal eyes, pretty much. And that's what you get. And the height, of course, self-explanatory. It's either looks weird, just right in the middle. Separation, looks weird, right in the middle. It's the usual stuff. Angle. Never saw the point in angle either. Either way you put it, it kind of looks a bit weird. So. And the brows. You've got inner brow and outer brow, which is pretty good. Gives you a little bit more option. A little more to play with the expression that your character has most of the time. And, ooh, I've left the eyes in a bit of a funny state, haven't I? What have I done here? You'll find that from time to time that you kind of, what went wrong? At least I find that. Anyway, nose. Noses. Small or very pointy. This is supposed to be size, rather. This is supposed to be size. But it doesn't have anything to do with size. It moves the nose up and down. So, yeah. Bridge does exactly what it says in the tin. Do you want a wide V or a narrow V? Or somewhere in between. Nostril width. Always good. Tip width. Potato nose or Slim Jim. Nose tip. Nose tip again. Do you want the nose up or down? They seemed obsessed with the nose going up and down. Do you want to be Miss Piggy or the witch? The choice is yours. Or somewhere in between. Nostril flare. Nostril flare is great because you can make yourself kind of look up, like, especially good for high elves. You make yourself look stuck up. Or elves in general. And the wiggly nose, if you want a wiggly nose, I don't imagine it. Who would want a wiggly nose unless you're playing a character that's got a nose broken? Then you might consider it. A mouth up and down there. Mouth width, choker, or I don't know, who's got a small Betty Boop? Lip thickness, you can get quite thick lips with a human. Quite pouty thick lips. They're not to everyone's taste. Look at that trout pout going on, anyone? Trout pout? But you can get whatever look you're looking for, pretty much. Now you can alter the gape, so you can have your mouth hanging wide open, breathing through your mouth, or you can be really tight-lipped, or you can be somewhere in between. And you can have a pucker, which is basically, do you want your lips at the right elevation, sticking out in like a really strange way, or cut in like really strange, like an old granny? Yeah. So a bit of variation again with the age there. You can adjust the age for that. Do you want to be sad or happy or somewhere in between? That's pretty much what that's for. Otherwise, why you'd want to run around with a huge smiley face, I don't know. Unless you're playing a really, really happy character. And ears. Rotation. So you can move them back and forth. Or you can move them out and in. Extension, outer in. Trim, again, outer in pretty much. And size. Do you want big Dumbo ears? Yes. I want big Dumbo ears, there we go. And that's pretty much it. And let's have a look at the uniforms. This is for the warrior. Now the uniforms double up. I think there's like, there's 3 different types of uniform, basically, that it shows you here. So I'll only show you those 3 types. And they do double up on the classes. Here's the sound effects, by the way. Now, the guys get 5 voices. So, why do ladies only get 4? So, an extra class and they get an extra voice. Let me know in the comments what you make of that. Whether it bothers you, you know. Let me know. So that's the humans in essence. The voices are okay. There's only one voice that's gonna... That one suits the... What race was that? Yeah, that high-pitched voice kind of suits the girls, but we'll get to that in a minute. Let's quickly check out how the uniforms look on the different characters. Now, I believe the Lancer has full plate, so we'll just have a quick look at that. Quick look at the outfits. It's pretty good. Nice one. and full plate. Very skimpy. The good news is the guys are largely quite skimpy as well, at least. At least it's not just the ladies who look skimpy in this game. The guys do as well, but mostly the male elves. The humans cover up a bit. The male humans, that is. The Slayer, I think, has the same armor. We'll just check real quick, I'm pretty sure. I'll just show you real quick. As you can see, the Slayer has leather armor, which is exactly the same as the Warrior. The only other armor I have to show you is the Sorcerer, the Priest, and the Mystic use. I'll have a quick look at that. And it's the kind of robes going on, although this looks like a cocktail dress. That's more like a robe. But then again, it is quite revealing. I'm afraid if you don't like revealing clothes, this game might not be for you. But as I said, at least the guys are revealed as well. At least it's not one-sided. But, you know, it's fantasy. What do you expect? Right, so that's pretty much it for the humans. Let's check the other races. Now, we'll be checking them very quickly because we've already looked through the main features. You know, this is kind of more the same pretty much. There are subtle variances between the races, but they're pretty much all the same. Now, the biggest variance here is going to be your horns on your on this race specifically. The major feature is the horns, and the horns are linked with the hair, I'm afraid. I know some of you aren't going to like that because, you know, you might like the horns, but you might not like the hair. But unfortunately, they're all locked, so have fun with that. But you do get a lot of presets to choose from. Might have to zoom out so you can see the horns better. There we go. You do get a lot of, you know, different presets and stuff, but as I said, I think that's gonna bug some people that you're stuck to one hairstyle to the whatever horn design. So, like, I like that horn design, but I can't have that hair color with it. That makes no sense to me. No sense whatsoever. But hey, that's what we got to live with. Let's see. That's quite a nice hairdo. Let's go with that. And then we go to features. Again, here you get to change your style. Oh, actually, I'm corrected. You do get to change your horn style, but it is linked to the hairdo. So it's still linked to the hairdo. So if you like that horn style, you can't have this hairdo, and that and so on. So I'm correcting myself just a wee bit, but I'm still right in that you are locked to a certain hairstyle and horns still. It's just that you get to choose which one for this face, which is pretty good. At least you got that. Here's the hair shades. They're quite outlandish actually. They start off quite neutral, and then they are shocking pink, bright blue. They're quite vibrant colors for the Elvish races. Although some would argue this isn't an Elvish race, but to me it is. They look like elves. They are elves. They just have a different name. And they're kind of a bit darker in nature. So, that's pretty much it for the features. Let's check on the face. Actually, maybe we just change the hairstyle a bit, so we can see the face a bit better. There we go. And here you get to change your face, or what facial type you would like. And here on the face is also, you get to pick the eye color as well. Notice how the eye color changes, the lip color changes. You get to pick your kind of makeup here. Look how the makeup changes and stuff. And they're all interlinked, which again, you know, I don't see why they would just have those separate. It seems logical to me, but for some reason they'll like to lump them all together. So, you know, so if you like a particular eye color, you'll need to enjoy the lip color as well. And if you don't, well, nothing you can do about it, I'm afraid. Skin tones. Nothing much different from the humans, although you do get a darker shade, and you get some orange. You get to be orange. You get to look like you used too much bronzer. Dormants. Now, dormants you get... I'm not sure what they were trying to... Oh yeah, you get lots of them actually. This is where you also get to change... As you can see, you can change your makeup again if you weren't happy with your makeup before. But you'll notice the eye colors change. Because when I first came across this, I was like, oh great, we get to pick our eye color, or we get to pick our makeup independently of the eyes. But no, notice how the eye color changes. And the lip color changes. So, see, it's changed to purple there. So everything changes basically depending on what you pick. Although the eye color does try to remain, at least some of them remain the color that you originally picked, but not all of them, sadly. So, yeah. And next we'll go with the fine details. Here's the brow. You can see better from this angle, as usual. You want a big brow, short brow. Cheekbones, do you want fat cheeks, skinny cheeks? They're not really fat, they're more like wide and weird. Do you want a big jaw? You can have, again, you can have quite a robust jaw if you want one. And you can have your jaw jutting out like that. And next up with the eyes, that's pretty much it for the bone structure. Not a lot of difference. Width of the eyes, freaky or wide. And then the shape, sleepy, blind. You know, I always think you could play a blind character almost with their eyes closed if you wanted to. That's now possible, which is awesome. And the height of the eyes. That was always, you know, you pretty much stick them in the middle, don't you? You kind of have a slight variance on the middle, because if you have one or the other, it looks weird. And I never see the point in this. It's like, why would you want your eyes like that? I guess if you were playing some Argo. And then that's C in a brow. So as you can see, it's very similar to the humans. So that's why I'm not going into it in too great detail now. I do get sidetracked because it's nice to see what the different variations are, but they're so very minute. They really are. I mean, look at the nose controls. Everything's the same as the humans. The only thing I noticed is the mouth. It doesn't seem as wide as the humans, and the thickness is interesting also. So there is some slight variances, but I think it's more the shape of the face than anything. Smiley or you can't get sad elves. Look, on the other characters you'll note that they're unhappy was like going down at the mouth. That's not really going down, is it? It's more like indifferent. So as a high elf you can only be indifferent or happy. So bear that in mind. You can't be a sad elf, I'm afraid, which is interesting. That's one of the biggest differences actually. The ears is another one. Obviously it's like, how would you like your ears? Would you like them flapping about? Sticking out? Nice and trim? Trim is actually like size more than anything. It's like an extension of size. How much do you want your ears to stick out? Would you like them like... Yeah, she's about to take off, isn't she? I think I'm going to leave it like that. Awesome. Quick look at the uniforms. The uniforms, as I showed with the humans, you may recognize them. They look pretty similar. They are slightly different, but I'll do a first impressions video as well, and you'll be able to see the armors in more detail. As you can see, they're fairly revealing, like the human female is, but the males are as well. If you check out my male video, you'll see how revealing they are, and the dudes as well. And that's pretty much it for that race. Right, now the Armand. Now the female Armand gets a bit more attention than the male does. The male was a bit lackluster for me. It was a little bit overlooked. But the female Armand is okay. It's not too bad. You get a lot of presets. Just give you a view of what they look like. Look at those feet. They have a hard time getting those in some higher heels. Goodness. But yeah, they're very cool. Very cool. And they got really cool headdresses as well. I believe this is their hair, and it's kind of interweaved with their headdress. So it's pretty cool presets. It looks almost like Zerg. Zerg female queen. They kind of vary, and it's an Alex Strasser look going on there. Some really, really cool. Look at that hair. Look at how big that is. These are some really cool looking presets. This is a good choice for anyone who's wanted to pick something that's a little more, I don't know, a little more intimidating perhaps. Very nice. I'm quite partial to this race. I think I will roll an alt of this race at some point. Right. I'm a bit of an altaholic. Right, okay, going into features, right? Here you get to change your different hairstyles while keeping the same face. But we're going to choose what color. It's quite a wider range of color, including white. That's cool. And they're quite bold colors as well. There's none of this kind of beigey color going on, really. There's like one beige and that's all you get. So that's pretty. I'm quite happy with the colors. I think that's not bad. And next up, the face. You'll notice the eye color changes with the face again, as does the eye makeup and the lipstick. So do be aware of that. Those change with whichever face you happen to pick. This is just where you kind of pick whatever face suits your fancy. We'll go with that one. Adornments. Now then, is where you get to pick your makeup pretty much. And this is the special facial adornment, which is a mega chin guard. That's pretty much all you get. And you can choose whatever cool makeup you fancy. And into the fine details, everything's pretty much the same. I won't go too much into this at all. You've seen it. It's all the same. Same as the humans, same as the elves, pretty much. There's no real... It's interesting how the male looks so different to the female. The female looks like an elf, basically. And with a few head adornments and stuff, and a few little differences with the hands and the arms and stuff. And the feet, of course. But the face is very much the same, so I haven't much new to show you. I won't bore you by showing you what you've already seen, basically. You know, everything's the same. Nose extension size, nostril width, blah blah blah. Mouth, pretty much the same. Can't get as thicker lips. That's about it. Quite thin lips. An interesting cheesy grin if you have really thin lips, which you can fix with a gape, though, I think. Oh, you can't. Okay. So if you want thin lips, you're going to be like, duh. You're going to have thick lips, otherwise your mouth will be apart for some reason. That is a difference. Okay, I found a difference. Wonderful, I found a difference. Okay. You can be a sad, or you can be happy. Either way, it seems to want you to have your mouth open with this race. I'm not sure why. And yeah, let's have a look at the outfits. Not too skimpy for this race, actually. You got a little bit of cleavage showing. But apart from that, pretty much covered up. Not too bad. So like I said, if you want to play a kind of badass that doesn't want to be trifled with, I recommend this race. Like I said, all the voices are the same, so you've already heard all the voices available in the game, so I won't go into that detail. There's no female potpourri. Why not? Why is there no female potpourri? I mean, yeah, they wouldn't look hugely different, but it would be cute, and it would be nice to have. And here we go to the only female race. The only female race, and we've got little girls. Great. This is probably the most controversial race. Simply because it's little girls, and on the Korean version they had revealing clothes on. They kind of fixed that in this, so that there are some remaining. But me, I don't have a problem with any of it as long as they're covered up, because I don't have any trouble distinguishing reality from fiction. And this is definitely not real, so I don't see why anyone would be upset about it, since it's not real. Even a 5-year-old can distinguish reality from fiction. Anyway, whatever. I'm not going to play this race myself. I think it's definitely one for the ladies. Probably explains why it's female only. Although it would have been nice to have, you know, kind of boys as well, for anyone wanting to revisiting their inner child or something. And they've got different ears with the presets. Kind of looking a bit derpy. These are all the presets because it gives you a broad idea of what you can have. Looking all very cute. And it's funny how you got this kind of realistic kind of Fable style. And then you've got this kind of anime style going on with the big eyes. It's kind of normal, anime. Kind of normal. And then you got the more anime styles like that. And then you got normal again. So I think we'll go with that one. And here you get, of course, to pick what kind of hair and ears you would like. The hair and ears are linked again, as you might expect. And you get 10, basically. That's what you get. And here's what I find interesting. Your tail color is not linked to your hair color. And neither are your ears. So you can't change those, which I'm sure is going to bug some people. I don't really care since I'm not going to play the race, but I'm sure it's going to bug someone. And here's different hair colors. Let me just get a long hair so you can see the hair colors. See, very bright, vibrant pastel colors. Very nice. Beautiful kawaii hair. Yes, I went there. Right, so quite an arrange there. Let's have a look at the face. There's a fair few faces to pick from. All very cutesy. One grumpy there, so you could be a grumpy girl. You can be extremely cute, or you can be extremely derp, or quite malaise. There's like 10 different presets. And let's have a look at the adornments. Now you can have teddy bears. I'm going to change the hairstyle. There we go. You see the face a bit more clear. This is very cute. See, you've got the what's that? You've got kind of rosy cheeks, and you've got pink eyeshadow, whatever that is. Teddy bears. So really cutesy looks, whatever you fancy. Fine details, let's have a look. Not a lot of difference because the round face, when you got a round cutesy face, you're not going to see a lot of difference. Look, not a lot of difference. Not a lot of difference. Well, I suppose that's quite. You can have a chubby chin, basically, if you wanted to. And with the eyes, you can have them freakishly small, or nice and big, or just right. You can have your eyes closed or open, same stuff pretty much. Separation, all that good stuff. Eyebrows surprised, you know. Not a lot of difference there. Nose, the nose is so small you can barely tell a difference, to be honest with you. The main thing is the bridge and stuff. Nostril width, perhaps. But yeah, everything's really teeny tiny, so it's mouth width. Not very wide mouths. That's the difference with this race. You can only have a teeny tiny mouth, and lips can't be that thick. And the gape probably looks about as normal. It's about the most normal of all the races, actually, the gape. It's the less freakish. Because I don't know, for some reason when they got their mouth open and the teeth out, they look strange. And you can be happy, or you can have a sad little girl. So that's it for this race. Here's a quick look at the uniforms, but I'm not going to look into them in too much detail. Although I am curious to see how bad it gets. Let's just have a quick look at the Lancer. And the outfits. I know you're curious, I could tell. You're curious to see how bad it gets. Yeah. That's pretty much about as bad as it gets. Okay. So it's not too bad, but I can, you know, you can see why some people, some really stuck up people might have a problem with that. But anyway, that's that race dealt with, you know, so yeah, it's not for everyone, that race, but I'm sure some people will be a fan of it. Baracus, sadly, no female Baracus. They're forever alone. Let's check out the High Elves, lastly. Looking fabulous. Now, I imagine the High Elves and the Elvish races are going to be most played. They're all extremely pretty, pretty much. Unless you choose random. I like choosing random. Yeah, there's your High Elf. Oh, you could have some fun with that. But the presets are, as you can imagine, like models, pretty much. So if you want to be gorgeous, beautiful, fabulous, this is the race for you. It's very pretty. I picked a High Elf myself, but I also going to play Potpourri and a bunch of other races too. But yeah, this is on my, probably one I'm going to play at some point. This is one of the races I like to play when I'm playing my vanity self. Quite busty, that lass. Anyway, on to the features. The different hairstyles for you. Quite similar to the human style. I'm not sure if they're exactly the same. They look exactly the same. There's probably like maybe an extra hairdo in there or something that makes me look bad, but I think they're exactly the same. I think there's actually less than the humans, which I don't quite understand. Anyway, let's choose a short, long style and show off the colors, and then we'll go. The colors are quite bright and vibrant. Again, pastel colors, but some dark ones too. Nice dark colors there. You could even have pink. There you go. Pink, purple, yellow, blonde, platinum blonde. You name it. Lots of colors to choose from. Let's go with a short hairdo that doesn't cover the face if we can. Again, there's more short hairs actually for the High Elves. Yeah, more short hair. So that's good. You got a few more shorter hairstyles for the High Elves. That's the main difference. Right, let's have a look at the different facial structures and tones. Different eye color again, different makeups depending on which one you choose. They're all interlinked as usual. So there's going to be one there that you hopefully can live with, or one that you really like. You have to wait and see. And once you pick that, you can pick what skin shade you want. Now the skin shades are quite similar to the humanoid ones. The human ones pretty much. They're not. They lack the olive colors of the dark elves, so they have a couple. But mostly it's pink and beige. Pink and beige, a couple of orange. Usual stuff. Quite light shades for the High Elves, as you might expect, you know. I would have liked to see one shade lighter than that. That's still not white enough, you know. And but I think you can't really have too dark a color for High Elves because they're not supposed to be dark skinned. Whereas the other race should have had a darker shade of brown, I think. But yeah, apart from that, it's looking good. Lots of skin colors to choose from at least. Adornments. Let's have a look at these. And the makeup. Here you got lots of different makeup. And the eyes stay pretty much the same, but they do change subtly with some of them, see? I don't think they're supposed to change. Or maybe it is, but I don't know why it does that. To me, at this stage, it should be makeup, not eye color. But for some reason, the eye color changes too. So lots of really cool designs to pick from. You can have the tears there. You can have the whatever that is. What is that? Ears of corn or something? Some sort of flowers or something. I don't know. Some really cool designs. You can have a nice gothic high elf if you wanted. And the ear adornment, which is a kind of gold antler of sorts. Kind of wee little antler. Right, and on with the bone structure. I should get rid of that. There we go. Fine details. Pretty much the same as we've seen already. I keep saying that, but it's true. I mean, I can't think of any differences at all that we haven't seen already. The high elf is a little bit narrower in the face, so it is quite hard to get a wide, huge wide jaw. You can get a long jaw, but getting a wide jaw, like a really wide jaw, hard to do with a high elf. That's the main difference. Anything with the eyes? No, I didn't really. Same thing with the eyes. Same thing with the shape. Nothing really special. The eyebrows, pointy and thin, high or low. Nose, same noses as the other elves. Mouth. Again, actually with the high elf you can get quite thick lips if you want them. Again, your mouth is usually open a bit. The mouth is actually quite small unless you make it wider for some reason. And you can have a mouth really tiny. They've almost got the same lips as the other race. I don't know why they have the like teeny tiny lips. So. And the gape that looks a bit scary because of the teeth, I think. And it takes quite a lot of gape to shut the mouth, actually. Even with like pretty thick lips, you see she's trying to open her mouth. And you can have a smiley high elf and a miserable high elf too. Well, she doesn't look that unhappy, she just looks austere, doesn't she? So those are the main differences really. The ears are the same, pretty much. They're a little bit smaller. They're a bit smaller, I think. That's about it. So, there you have it. That's pretty much that race wrapped up. And the different armors. The armor's not too revealing on this race, actually. Looking at these anyway, it might be different on in-game armors, I don't know. That's quite revealing. But then so are the guys. So, as long as the guys are revealing as well, then I feel it's at least it's equal opportunities, revealingness, I guess. I don't know what you want to call it. So I hope you've enjoyed the video, guys. Let me know what you think about the character creation in this game, and what do you think about Tera in general. Are you thinking about getting the game? Are you enjoying it? Are you trying out the beta? Yeah, and let me know what you think about the character creation. Is it enough for you? Do you kind of not like that they have so many things linked together, you know, like kind of like older MMOs? But do you like the fact that they have actually given us more customization options than, you know, say, you know, recently released MMOs like Star Wars? And I think it even has slightly better than Aeon, although I never played Aeon, so I wouldn't know. But I hear people tell me it's slightly better than Aeon, so. Yeah, let me know how you feel, you know, if you think it's going in the right direction. I certainly like, you know, nice graphics and stuff. I believe it helps with immersion. And I certainly believe that having greater control over your character and creating them makes you identify with them a whole lot more. So I think it's very important and a huge step in the right direction that they're giving us more character creation options. That's how I feel personally. I think this game does a pretty good job at it. It's almost there, you know. It's like really good, but it's stops short of excellent. And I'd love to see a game that makes an excellent character creation. I have seen that in APB, for example. There's excellent character creation. You know, it has almost everything you could think of. And yet, you know, big games with subscriptions still aren't there yet, which is interesting. But yeah, anyway, hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and I'll see you next time.